The following segment is sponsored by Jackery.
This year, there have been so many devastating weather events that today we are excited to have the former administrator of FEMA to help everyone prepare for winter storms. Welcome into the show, Craig Fugate. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so yes, we have had some pretty intense storms. We know that weather is happening and is coming. So what experience has taught you about being prepared?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of disasters and they're all different. But a common factor that I kept finding time and time again was the different outcomes for people that were prepared, had a plan, had supplies versus the people that didn't. And it just overwhelmingly showed that, taking those basic steps to get ready and prepared meant a much better outcome for you and your family, no matter what the disaster was.
Absolutely. With weather, it's unpredictable. We know it's happening. We don't know when it's happening, though. So what is something that every household should have available to them?
Well, I think, the thing that I'm looking at that we ought to change is we've always talked about being prepared and having supplies. And a lot of those supplies were based upon the power going out. And that's very common in a lot of disasters, is power going out over large areas, sometimes for long periods of time, days to weeks. And so we always focused on the power going out. We never had good options on what to do. And I think we treated power outages, it was an inconvenience to be endured. But for a lot of folks, that's not possible. They're on medical devices. They have mobility devices like wheelchairs and scooters that need to be charged. They have medication that needs to be refrigerated. And for more and more folks, being out of power isn't an inconvenience, it's dangerous for them. And so adding emergency power into the plan and adding it to your supplies, I think is a point where we need to factor that in. And I think the technology's changed. We didn't have good options. 10 years ago, if you're talking about emergency power, you're talking about a generator, a gas generator, diesel, whatever. Now we have battery units that are so powerful and so compact that they can provide a lot of energy to run to your essential devices, and with a solar panel provide almost indefinite power during a crisis. And they come in different sizes, different ranges. So, we've moved away from the generators to now the solar powered generators, which are, one, quiet, they're clean, they don't require refueling, and they provide that essential power. So we can move past, okay, you're going to be inconvenient, and you just need to be prepared for the power being out too. Now you have options to have emergency power during that duration to keep essential devices up, medical devices, and key parts of your household.
This is such a great recommendation. Do you have any suggestions for staying connected before, during, or after a winter storm, in addition to what you just spoke about?
Yeah, communication is always key, and I tell people, first thing is add a portable radio to your disaster supplies, because when storms hit, internet goes down, often the only information you're going to be able to get is from your local broadcasters. And having that radio is key. And then, when the storms are coming, get everything charged, get everything ready to go. During the storm, having that emergency power supply means I can keep everything charged. I can stay in contact and stay in communications. And then after the storm, let friends and family know you're okay. I think sometimes we just assume they think we're okay, but they haven't heard from you for several days, and they're reading about or hearing about the area being hit. So always remember, let people know you're okay after the event.
These are, again, wonderful recommendations. I'm taking all the notes, and I know everyone at home is as well. Thank you so much, Craig, for joining us on today's show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.